Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Zach, it's just a cute little video where people compare the phases of the moon on their birthdays to people they care about to see how compatible they are. What's so weird about that? Well, there's a thought I had when one of these videos swiped by me as I was going through TikTok. And it's a thought I don't like having. Now let me sort of break this down for you, all right? We're gonna start way over there and then we're gonna make it back to the video, all right? Let's talk about social engineering, okay? Social engineering is the form of data collection that is done through trying to ask leading questions in order to get answers to questions that aren't actually being asked. If you're on TikTok or Shorts and you're in the tech world, you might have seen a guy named Pirate Software scroll by. He used to work for Blizzard as a developer, and he's also a cybersecurity expert. He makes a lot of videos, very interesting videos. Highly recommend checking him out. In one of his videos, he talks about this. He talks about how when you work in customer service, one of the first things you need to learn is to not answer a lot of questions from the people that you're talking to on the phone. Social engineering dictates that if you're on the phone with somebody from customer service, you come up with some convoluted reason why you want a question answered. You go, oh, I was thinking about applying, but I don't really like preparing my own lunch. What's some good places to eat around there? Like what places do people that already work there recommend? You're not asking for recommendations on places to go. You are asking for restaurants to scope out so that you can find employees of the company and use a cloner to clone their key card and try and break in. That was the example he gave. But we'll give some examples that hit a little closer to home for just the average person. Let's say you're on Facebook and you're scrolling and you see a post that says, post the name of a movie that came out the year you were born. The obvious thing to do, Google the year you were born, look at the movies that came out, post one of them as an answer, one that you might like. Here's the problem. One, if you comment on a public post, your comment is public, meaning anyone can go and look at it as long as they know how to get to that post. Second of all, your birth year is actually pretty important information to know because it gives social engineers a lot of information about you. And from that one thing, they can start extrapolating other things. If they know what year you were born, then, if you used the year you were born as a passcode for your phone, they now know the passcode for your phone. The same goes for if you're using something like an anniversary. Like, if somebody asks a nebulous question and the answer indirectly gives away the year that you got married, that is also a very common thing for people to use as a passcode. Meaning that if you have an account with something that requires you to put a passcode in, they now have a very easy thing that they can type in hopes to guess it. The same thing goes for when you answer questions like, where were you born? What's the name of your pet that you grew up with? Like, these are questions that are also used as security questions at a bank. If you are answering these questions, you are giving hackers the answers that they can start trying to feed in order to brute force their way into your bank account. The fact is, a lot of websites get their information leaked. They can start tying these usernames and passwords using information that you give. If your public-facing Facebook account says your first name and your last name as your legal first and last name, and then you give them the year that you were born, a lot of people will use their first initial, last name, and then the year they were born as a username. And if they can match that to one of the usernames that was leaked from a website, they can now tie a password directly to you. And they're going to type that password into your Facebook account and see if you shared passwords across accounts. And then suddenly, boom, they now are in your Facebook account, and they now can change the password so that you can't get back in and start messaging your friends as you, trying to get them to divulge information or click shady links. And if it's coming from your Facebook account, a lot of people, especially older people, are just going to trust it. The fact of the matter is, it's actually pretty easy to brute force your way into a person's account. All you have to do is just look at the information that information gathering services have gathered on these people and start connecting the dots. So what does this have to do with a TikTok filter? We're going to bring it back, all right? This filter not only asks for you to put your birth year and birth date into the filter, but it also asks for you to put in the date of birth of people you care about, people like your significant other, people like your mom, your dad, stuff like that. That not only reveals information about you, but if people can start tying that information to other social accounts, they can start guessing who you're related to, and they can start putting that information that you gave about this person that you care about and slot that information into their account as well. So use of this filter is a field day for social engineers. And you have to start thinking in terms of that. So if you found any of that interesting, like I said, Pirate Software made a short about it. I have to imagine there's a longer form, maybe like VOD, that you can go watch where he talks more about it in depth. But if you want to see more videos about stuff like this, go ahead and let me know. Hit that follow button. If this is on YouTube, then subscribe.